signed a 2-year contract extension with the team. Justin, congrats on the new deal, and thanks for taking the time to be with us this afternoon.
Thank
I'll
you.
start the Q&A period right now with a question from Marco D'Amico. Marco, c'est à toi.
Thank you so much. Justin, congratulations on the new contract. Obviously, this year you're going to be waiver eligible. When it comes to preparing for this year's camp, it's a very big training camp for you. What's your mindset going into this year, and how has it changed from years prior?
Yeah, I mean, I think for this year, it's been focusing on having a good summer and coming in and just kind of establishing my spot as a full-time NHL player. And yeah, I'm coming in, at the start of camp with the mindset to make the team and being the starting lineup. And yeah, I think that's been the goal the last 2 years as well. But I feel like I've, especially last year in the first half, I feel like I played some really good hockey up with the Canadiens and finished the year with another couple good games there. And yeah, I think the big step for me this year is to, establish myself as a full-time NHL player.
Thank you so much, and best of luck.
Thanks.
Merci, Marco. Next question, Simon Olivier Lorange.
Hey, Justin, congrats on a new deal. Where do you see yourself in the organization or in the defense specifically? Because, as you said, you have struggled to establish yourself as a full-time NHLer, but what do you want to show them actually to prove that you're a full-time NHLer?
Yeah, I think for me, it's been my defensive game. I feel like if I can really, bear down and take a big step in that this year and, having more trust from the coaching staff and, just being harder to play against and better details in my defensive game, I think that'll help my game a lot. I think that's an area where I've struggled a little bit, especially with consistency throughout the last 2 years. And yeah, at the same time, I want to keep showing my offensive game and, hopefully take take the next step in that part of my game as well.
Can you be more specific when you talk about the details in your defensive game that you want to improve?
Yeah, I think first of all, it's being harder to play against. I don't think that's necessarily all the time physicality, but I think it's taking away guys' time and space in the corners. It's having a tighter gap off the rush. I think, it's being a little bit harder in front of the net. So yeah, I think, the last 2 years with Roby and, Adam, all the coaching staff, in Montreal and Laval, we've really focused on getting better at those things. It's been a lot of stick work details, a lot of footwork stuff. So yeah, I've just been continuing to work on that and kind of try to translate that into my game.
I know you were asked about what's changing for you in this camp, but at the next Montreal camp in September, there's going to be huge competition on defense with guy who has a similar profile as you, like David Reinbacher. Len Hudson is probably is smaller, but he has an offensive upside. Even Logan Mailloux. How do you foresee this competition at your position?
Yeah, I mean, we have a ton of young guys and, the future certainly looks bright. And I think, it's just going to be a healthy competition. I know all of them now, they're all great guys. And yeah, I'm looking forward to, getting into camp and competing against them. And yeah, I think with that being said, I feel confident in my game and my ability and, trying to come out of that camp with a spot in the roster.
Thank you.
Merci. Prochaine question. Next question. Kevin Dupont, 98.5.
You heard me?
Yep.
Hi, Justin. Congratulations for your new contract. I was wondering, with some of the young defensemen in Habs, how do you see the next few years with the place of the young defensemen in the team?
Yeah, I think, like I said before, I think the future's bright. I think, we've got a ton of really good players on the back end, some young guys, and, it seems like we've got a good mix of, guys that can play really well defensively, some offensive guys and stuff too. And yeah, I think that's another reason why this is a big year for me and, coming into camp and trying to establish myself as, a full-time player. And, my goal is to be up playing top 4, top pair minutes, hopefully sometime soon in the future. And yeah, that's kind of the goal and mindset for me. And I want to start taking that step this year.
Do you think you can learn this year from vets defensemen like David or like Mike?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they've already been a huge help, from the first day I came to Montreal, and they're nice to have both of them, a ton of experience and different players as well. Just different playing styles, but yeah, Math is obviously an unbelievable skater, super smart, and Dave's a little bit slower, but he does so many things so well in the D zone, and finds ways to be efficient, and he's so good blocking shots on the PK. Yeah, everywhere in the D zone. And, Math has that kind of offensive side to his game too. So it's been a huge help from them, helping me learn.
Thanks, Justin. Have a nice summer.
Thanks.
Merci, Kevin. I'd like to remind everyone on the call to please virtually raise your hand if you have a question to Justin. This question will go to George Gay. George?
George Guay from the Just Say Guay Sports Podcast. Justin, congrats on the contract. As an athlete, how much does it help that the deal is done? You can just focus on training camp and trying to make a consistent roster spot.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a bit of relief. Obviously really exciting too, just to kind of get it over with. And yeah, just really excited about it. And, now it's, keep training hard and getting ready for camp, and, really excited to be back in Montreal in September.
Thanks, George. There's no further questions, so that's it for today's Q&A. JB, thanks for taking the time, and congrats on the new deal, and we'll see each other at training camp.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Merci tout le monde d'avoir été parmi nous aujourd'hui.